Everyone, Dev with Crime Hive, and in this true crime video we're talking about Lori Vallow again here. Got some new information. I think a lot of you may have already heard the audio recording, and we're just going to kind of discuss that a little bit. Now the major thing that I wanted to talk about is how that audio relates to Joseph Ryan. So right here, Lori Vallow had married Joseph Ryan, and Joe Ryan had died of an apparent heart attack. A lot of people do not believe that. They do not think it was natural causes. They believe that something more sinister had happened. So that's really what this video is about. We're going to explore a couple other aspects of that audio. I'm not going to play the whole audio, but I can give you the link for that as well. But I am curious about your opinion. If Lori Vallow had in fact killed Joe Ryan, how do you think it may have happened? There's a lot of speculation on that. I'll give you one of my theories on that as well as we go through here. So I'm going to play little bits of the audio. Again, I'm not going to play much of it here. But right here, I got this from East Idaho News. If you go there, you can listen to this entire audio if you want to. It's about 45 minutes long. And so I'm going to start it here with this little snippet here. This is at about the 3:10 mark. And then we'll just listen to that as we go through and kind of discuss a couple aspects of this. You might have to turn up your volume as well on that.
Part was to the temple. So I had been married to someone who was very awful, who raped my children, and I had divorced him and gotten away from him, and he had joined the church. He spoke in state conference. Everyone thought he was wonderful. He was very good showman of all those things. And after we were divorced, he told everybody that I was this lying, crazy Mormon, and got up in court and said all these horrible things about me, and turned it around to where the judges believed him instead of me. And he was constantly trying to get custody of my 3-year-old daughter, and just to rub it in my face. And I went through a lot of years of this kind of hard stuff, and I was going to murder him. I was going to kill him, like the scriptures say, like Nephi killed him, just to stop the pain and to stop him coming after me and to stop him coming after my children. And I just felt I couldn't take it anymore. And I would go through the scriptures and find all the things, like, if he comes against you once, if he comes against you twice, if he comes against you 3 times, then you can kill him. It says it in the scriptures in the book of Mormon. I was like, there it is, there's my answer. I don't want to do anything that's wrong. I did not have a murderous heart. I just wanted to stop the bleeding and stop the pain. And so someone wise was speaking to me and said, you need to go to the temple.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there for just a minute. A lot happened in that little sequence there. I mean, she literally talks about wanting to kill Joe Ryan, and that she had a murderous heart, and she tries to justify this through her religion, through scripture, and try to find justifications in doing so. And you know, it makes you wonder, you know, did she go through her scriptures and go through this information to in fact justify that and actually complete that act for her mission? And we'll talk a little bit about that mission as well in just a couple other snippets of this audio. But what are your thoughts on that bombshell, you know, sequence right there of what she said? Pretty crazy, you know, to hear that. It, again, goes back to Joe Ryan here. A lot of people do not think he died of natural causes, and I'll tell you my take on it, and a lot of investigators believe it is poison related as well. And I pulled this up in one of my other videos here, but this is a strong possibility when it comes to poison. And I pulled up this article here on officer.com, and it talks about succinylcholine. Now, there's so many options when it comes to poison. Obviously, like in this article at the beginning, it talks about you know, a lot of the major ones that people tend to use when they poison someone: arsenic, cyanide, strychnine. Those are widely regarded poisons. And you know, what's interesting is when women kill, a lot of times it tends to be poison. So what's interesting, this particular one though, again, I wanted to point out from from just one of my thoughts on this, and I'll tell you why. So I'm going to get my little drawing tool here. So what it says about succinylcholine is that it's a strong muscle relaxant. Okay, and let's see if I can pull that up here. So it's a strong muscle relaxant that paralyzes the respiratory muscles. Okay, so it's normally used in the hospital, and what they do what it does is it can actually paralyze the entire breathing apparatus, and the victim slowly suffocates to death. Okay, now the autopsy showed that this person, Augustine, had died of a heart attack. That's huge right there, the heart attack. It can literally mimic a heart attack. And Joe Ryan apparently died of a natural heart attack. All right, we can also speculate about Alex Cox. Did he really die of natural causes? Was it something else? With his role in obviously this case, a lot of people believe he was the one that actually murdered the children here. So it's a very deep case, obviously. So there's a lot of speculation involved in this. But I wanted to talk to you about that because they thought it was a heart attack, but then they find a small needle mark on her buttocks that was actually overlooked. And let me get rid of this drawing tool here and move this out of the way. So and then it was overlooked in the autopsy. And then from there, they actually determined that it was the succinylcholine that actually convicted her of murder. Okay, this nurse that was going around using these drugs. So really interesting. I wanted to point that out. Now I'm going to go back to the audio here, and we'll talk about a couple other things here. Okay, so we'll continue the audio here again and play a little bit more of this part here.
I went and met my bishop, and I was like, I'm either going to turn my life to the temple, or I'm going to commit murder. So do you want to give me a temple recommend? And I was perfectly honest, because at that point I had nothing to lose. You get to the bottom rung and I had nothing to lose. And he gave me my temple recommend.
Nothing to lose.
And I started going to the temple every week by myself. Not with my current husband, just by myself to the temple. To the Mesa Temple, which I love. We moved here from Texas to get away from my ex-husband that was doing all this. But he moved here like 5 miles away from us. Just to continue to torture me. That was his whole entire job. And Satan had been torturing me since I was a little kid. So I've had that my whole life. I turned to the temple. I started going every single week. And I had little kids, and we were in therapy all the time, and the kids were in therapy and doing all this stuff. So I had five kids that I was dealing with.
Okay, so I just wanted to play that part of it. Now I'm going to fast forward to more of her mission when she talks about that here. So let me find that real quick. Okay, we'll play this next part here about her mission and that sort of belief there.
Because this time, the time is now. The Lord is gathering his people. He is calling people to the 144,000. They're already being called. They're already being sent on their missions. They're already going full circle. The time is now. He is coming. He is preparing us. And we promised we would do it. So I was standing there in this moment by myself one time in that first booth going through doing initiatories. I told the Lord, why would you do this to me? Why? You made me this super sweet person. I'm so sensitive. My whole life, everything hurt my feelings. I was totally sweet and innocent. And I was like, why would you ask me to fight this life and be this warrior? Why did you send me here? You know my personality.
Warrior.
You know I hate to fight. I will avoid a fight at all costs. And he gave me a pre-mortal memory of me. And I got to see myself as a warrior fighting for the Savior.
Pretty bizarre.
In the pre-mortal world. And I went to other worlds and I fought. And I was one of his strongest warriors. And I saw it. And he showed me so that I could never deny it again. I was not sweet. And I was not innocent. I am old. I have fought. I fought in this war for millennia.
What do y'all make of this?
And that's who I am. And I came down here to be a warrior and fight. And I only thought that I was sweet and innocent. I am sweet. I am a sweet person.
Trying to justify it.
But I am.
Pretty crazy. When you have that deep level of belief in a mission, she really thinks she's this special person that's part of this 144,000 that has this mission. And so what is she willing to do on this mission? You know, at what cost? And it goes to show with all the evidence we've already gathered, and it's going to come out even more so in the courtroom. And there's one other little aspect I wanted to point out because, and I'm not going to play much more of this. There's just a tiny other little clip I'm going to play in here, but it comes back to Lori's attorney, and it makes you still wonder, how deep is this? You know, you've got Lori's attorney looking to request information on more than 15 people in the case. You know, he sent out that cryptic tweet that I did a video about earlier, or that I made a video about. And, you know, a lot of people still wonder about Melanie Gibb. You know, what was her role? Does she know more? You know, does she know more about this case? And a lot of people believe she does. And the attorney obviously does. I mean, it's the attorney for Lori. So, of course, they're going to try all sorts of other angles in this case to try to shift away blame and other aspects of what may have happened. But you got to wonder, Melanie Gibb, David Warwick, the boyfriend, you know, and there's other people in here that, you know, you've got Melanie Boudreau, right? Pulowski. You've got these other people that it makes you wonder, what was their role? This is a deep belief we're talking about here. And I want to play one other small clip here with Melanie. Okay, let's see here, right here.
I know that Melanie knows her mission. Lori, obviously, you shared your mission. And Thor, I've heard your mission, and this beautiful sister here now has shared her mission. So I'm just wondering, how many of you guys already know what your mission is for the second coming? You guys, raise your hand high. Raise your hand high.
I think we need some prepared people, and that's we. That's we are. We are prepared people. We can only.
So she was asking, you know, she was talking about Melanie and Lori and these other people that know their mission, right? They know their mission for the second coming. And so what else may have been involved with Melanie's mission? You know, what else might she know if she were more deeply involved in this than we really think? All right. So that's something I just wanted to point out there. And then she does mention, and I'm gonna play this here where she talks about that here. Okay, I'll play this last little clip here.
Preparing the people, that's what we're trying to do with them.
Melanie.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to help people realize that things are really happening like they did a long time ago. In the old days, people had visions and dreams. This is not rocket new science. This is like old. And the Lord warns, the pattern is in the scriptures. She warns and prepares. And so we just have to be able to present it in a way that people will want to believe, but that's their choice. But I love the testimony of the temple, and I think it gives me, I mean, I go every week, but I'm going to be up in my temple attendance because I really want to get to another level that I can feel more inspiration, more revelation, because they made it very clear in conference is that go stand in holy places and do not fear. He's warning us, if you're righteous, you don't have any worries. You need to just be in that temple and be holy, stand in holy places, and wherever you walk, you make it holy.
That's pretty interesting, that statement there with Melanie. You know, basically saying, you know, if you're on this mission and you know it's the righteous thing, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's all justified. It's a way of justifying everything that they've done, everything that's involved in this case. Again, Melanie hasn't been charged with anything. Don't know her full involvement. You know, she's done interviews and so forth, but she says it in here, you know, with the preparing of people, she wants to take it to another level. This belief is very deep, and you know, it just creates the wonder, and maybe a lot more of that will come out in the court system as we go through this case. It's going to be very interesting. What are your thoughts on this? The new information here that you're hearing with the audio. What are your thoughts on Joe Ryan? You know, if Lori did this, what do you think may have happened? How do you think it may have happened? I'm curious below if you could comment. Again, Dev with Crime Hive. If you like these kind of true crime videos, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification to all. Like it, share, subscribe, you guys. I'll be back in another video. You all take care. Thanks.